Alquilar una casa o rent a house va a ser diferente en los próximos días. Will be different because the property law changed. Ha cambiado la ley de propiedad de las casas. Vamos a hablar con una experta que nos explique por qué. Vamos a hablar en inglés, pero también en español, ¿ok? Vamos a hacerlo bilingüe porque este tema es muy importante. We want to do it bilingual because this topic is very important. Everyone asks me about that. So, we want to do it in English and Spanish, no worries, everyone will understand what is going on with the houses, okay? So let's start, okay? Vamos a empezar. Empezamos.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, we have here Irina Salmarsh. She's a relocation consultant. So you want to explain me, no, a little bit. Let's explain everyone what is going on with this law, the property law.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why change? Why the government decide right now, boom, change this law? Why?
Right. Yes, that's true. The law came into force at the end of May, just before the election, like lots of things happen here. And the main reason of this law is to further regulate the property market. When we talk property market, we speak mostly about the long-term rental market, as this part of the market has been affected mostly in the last, let's say, few decades. The prices have increased tremendously, especially in the areas with highest demand, like, for example, in Malaga, where I'm from. What used to cost you 500 euros maybe 10 years ago now is going to be at 1,500, 2,000 euros a month. And even for that, you need to compete with very many candidates to get this property. So the idea of this law was to regulate a bit further the rental market, to introduce more limitations on the property owners, and to secure that, let's say, normal people have easier access to property. It also talks about creating social fund of property, which will be the target of the government, but we will just talk about normal people, let's say, the property owners and tenants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bueno, la primera razón que comenta la experta de por qué ha cambiado la ley nos explica que el mercado ha cambiado muchísimo. En los últimos 10 años, bueno, una casa podía costar 500 euros y ahora cuesta 1.500 o 2.000. Ha habido un cambio, un incremento muy grande y por eso el gobierno ha decidido regular para que, bueno, garantizar el acceso a las personas a que puedan acceder a comprar, alquilar una casa, porque si están subiendo los precios, al final va a ser prohibitivo y va a ser imposible. Entonces, eso es lo que estaba comentando, que ha habido un incremento muy grande y por eso la ley lo que intenta es regularlo. So, and what is the big change? What decided to change?
Right. The changes, the main changes, obviously, it covers lots of different matters, the law, and we are not going to talk about them. Let's just look at the changes affecting the long-term rental market. So there will be defined so-called tension areas, which are the areas with the highest demand and where the price of the property plus basic utilities contribute to 30% of the average income of people. So we can expect these tension areas to be all most demanded areas, like big cities, all the coastal areas, so all the areas which especially foreigners like to move to. Okay. Then there will be introduced limits on the annual increases, or not will be, the law is already in force. Yeah, the law is already in force from the end of May, so it's already all valid. There will be introduced limits on the annual price increases, like this year it is 2%, next year it will be 3%, and as of 2025 there will be a new index introduced, which is going to regulate the price increases. What used to be before is an inflation index. Now it's going to be a completely new type of regulation for that. There will be further regulations and price caps on the prices of the new property contract, which was not until now. But as of now, the landlords cannot just put any price they want. They will be regulated. Then some other important changes is that the Agents Commission it has to be paid now by the landlord, not by the tenant. But also here we already see that a lot of estate agents try to to work around it. So we will see how the market develops in that sense. And a very important additional regulation is further limitations and regulations on the eviction. So especially the non-paying tenants eviction. So it will be much more difficult. It will be a much lengthier process than now. It needs to involve various mediation mechanisms, which will make it more and more difficult for the property owners to get rid of non-paying tenants. Okay.
¿Por qué? ¿Cuáles son los cambios, los grandes cambios que ha hecho el gobierno? Bueno, la experta nos cuenta que el gran cambio es que se han limitado zonas, van a ser como zonas tensionadas, es decir, las zonas donde hay más demanda, donde la gente quiere vivir y se produce más demanda, más problemas de encontrar casa. ¿Cuáles son? Pues bueno, casi todas las zonas de costa, áreas más populares, más atractivas para vivir. Así que casi todas las partes que los extranjeros queréis venir a vivir serán una zona tensionada. ¿Y esto qué significa? Bueno, que el gobierno lo que va a hacer es que el aumento no va a ser por el IPC. Hasta ahora era IPC, era según cómo subía el consumo. En ese momento va a ser un 2% el primer año, un 3%, un incremento de un 3% el próximo año y para 2025, bueno, lo van a decidir. ¿Ok? Entonces, esos son cómo va a ir subiendo. El gobierno también ha puesto restricciones a la hora de expulsar a gente de casa. Cuando no pagan, tiene que haber un proceso, toda una regulación y va a ser un poco más difícil hacerlo. Ahora la nueva ley va a decidir que todo lo que paga la agencia, todos los gastos de la agencia los va a pagar el propietario para alquilar la casa. Y esto va a haber un cambio porque, bueno, veremos cómo funciona, porque a lo mejor las personas propietarias no van a querer acceder a un profesional si tienen que pagar este coste. Entonces, esta es una situación que está ahí y que va a ser interesante de saber. So, what do you think for the foreigners? Will be the impact? Is benefit for them or no?
Well, yes and no. Unfortunately, Spanish law has always been more on the side of a tenant, or let's say, fortunately for the tenants, unfortunately for the property owners. But it has a double effect. The property owners in Spain are not really protected very much, whereas the tenant is very protected. So as we said before, it's very difficult to get rid of a non-paying tenant. Even the owner of his own property cannot get rid of the people who are non-paying. So what happens is that property owners try to find their own protection. The majority of property owners insist now on the so-called non-payment insurance. And this non-payment insurance can only be contracted if the tenant has a Spanish work contract. And this work contract needs to be with some experience, with some seniority. So you should have been working in Spain for at least 6 to 12 months. So this means that the majority of foreigners who just arrived to Spain simply do not have this possibility. They don't have the work contract. They don't have the experience of working in Spain. And some of them even come here just to retire, not to work. So this is going to make it more difficult for foreigners coming to Spain. It's already now difficult, but this new law is going to make the selection process much more complicated as well. So what can be done? The foreigners need to be prepared to pay large amounts in advance, up to a year or even longer in advance, or find some third parties who will be willing to act as their guarantors, which is also complicated. So yes, it's positive parts are that, yes, as a tenant, once you have your contract, you're very protected. That's very good. But to get to the contract, it might be a bit more complex.
So your best advice will be like be ready to pay 1 year at least lease? Or...
My best advice would be to be as open as possible and be flexible also with your expectations. What I see very often that foreigners come in here, they are not having their expectation matched to the local reality. So they expect that the market here will work in the same ways it works in their home country, and this is not the case. So yes, you need to accept that things work differently here and try to find the way to work around it.
¿Cuáles van a ser los beneficios? ¿Hay beneficios o problemas para un extranjero con esta nueva ley? Bueno, la experta comenta que hasta ahora había muchos beneficios, más estaba la ley más dirigida al inquilino, es decir, a la persona que llegaba a la casa, y menos al propietario. Entonces, el propietario, pues bueno, se siente desprotegido y va a empezar a hacer una serie de formas de protegerse. ¿Cuáles son? El pedir un contrato de trabajo con una compañía española. Si no tienes un contrato de trabajo, va a ser difícil que te den la casa. Y al menos estás 6 meses o 1 año trabajando en esta compañía española. Entonces, esa es una de las grandes problemas, porque obviamente todos los extranjeros que vienen, la mayoría no tienen contrato de trabajo con España, trabajan con otras compañías o están buscando trabajo. O además hay otros que vienen para simplemente jubilarse, ya son mayores y quieren residir aquí y descansar. Entonces, este es uno de los grandes problemas o retos que va a tener la persona cuando llegue.
But the best advice would be, first of all, try to avoid summer months. If you move to Spain, especially to the areas with the big demand, try to avoid to move in summer, because this is the most busy tourist season and lots of properties are being turned to short-term holiday lets. So the prices even further increase and there are even less properties available. And then try to get prepared as much as possible with as much as possible financial documentation, which you can prove that you have income or you have savings or that you are financially stable. Try to get as much as possible, as you will be asked for that. And then, yes, be prepared for rejection because you don't have a Spanish work contract, but still stay positive because there are landlords there who will be happy to have you as a tenant. And yeah, you just need to give it time, stay positive, be patient, and be as much prepared as possible.
Yeah,
okay?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Because
it is
happened
not easy.
to me, I'm from Spain, but I moved to Malaga. I'm from Valencia. Even just another city, they didn't want to rent me because I work by myself. So I don't work in a company. They didn't want to rent a house because I could improve. So I have to do my strategy to do it. So I link there a link that I did. This is how I did. So maybe can help another person, no? Because I think the most important thing for Spaniards is they need to trust you. You are a foreigner. They need to trust you. So you need to show your transparency, like how you are, how you do, and then it's face to face. It's very important that.
Absolutely.
If you find a person and they like you, 50% is done. So,
exactly.
So it's super important how you wanna come to them. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a very, very important point. At the end, it's all between people, between humans. So if a person likes you, even if you do not meet the requirements of having a Spanish work contract, so on and so forth, it happened to many of my clients that once the people meet, then they just like each other and then it works. What helps as well, as I noticed, as this is something I assist people with, if foreigners or expats, if they use the services of professionals to help them in their property search, it gives sometimes to the agencies and to the property owners a bit more trust that, okay, it seems to be a serious person. He's using the services of somebody else to present them, to kind of vouch for them. So this helps as well, that a third party, an independent professional, can introduce you to the agency or to the property owner and can help you in communication. Then also, of course, to protect you from any irregularities which can happen. Still, you need to be careful, as the market with such high demand is full of scammers as well. That happens as well.
Por eso la experta recomienda de estate preparado para pagar un año al menos por adelantado, porque si no va a ser difícil encontrar casa. Entonces ella comenta que los grandes problemas es que la gente viene pensando una cosa que es diferente, ¿no? Tiene expectativas diferentes. Así que ella dice, tienes que estar abierta al mundo, abierta a cómo funciona España, ¿no? Y cómo funciona. Y sobre todo también, pues bueno, usar una agencia, porque también sirve, ¿no? A la hora de presentarte al propietario, si tienes una agencia, va a ser mucho más fácil que la persona confíe en ti. Y yo he comentado que tuve este mismo problema. Yo me mudé a Málaga, yo soy de Valencia, y como yo no tenía un contrato de trabajo, porque trabajo para mí, tuve problemas. No querían contratarme, no querían que yo viviera en esta casa y tuve que pagar un año por adelantado. Así que también os cuento en un vídeo estrategias que yo hice para conseguir cambiarme, porque me cambié varias veces. Os cuento estrategias que yo hice que a lo mejor os pueden servir. Also think to trust, like maybe if you come for long term. If you come in for a few months, maybe in few months they leave and they want to live without payment, right?
Exactly.
So it's like you need to show your intention to be in the country at least 2 years or so, something like that.
Absolutely. It's also good if you have references from your previous landlords, even if they're from a different country. It's good to get as much as possible documentation, references, feedback, which will give you this strong position.
And also recommend, because I know Spaniards, if you come to visit the house with a Spaniard friend, will be as well, because she has a Spanish friend, so will be as well a way to trust. I trust you, she has a Spanish friend, she's coming with her, so because it's Spanish, they love
exactly that's what I meant also with the using a consultant, that you come with somebody who is already here, who is presenting you, so yeah, it is a bit more trustable, although maybe it's not the case, but that's how the human
exactly. And in Spain especially, Spain I talk about in another video, we are not used to immigration yet. It's like we are coming slow by slow. So at the end for us, we need to trust the person. This is how, because we are not used to live with many different people from different countries. So, this is foreigner, this is from Russia, this is from Germany, the German guy. We don't say Peter, we say the German guy. So we're not used to have all. So this is why it's harder for people to trust. So if you have Spanish friends, or like you say, consulting that is Spanish and he's here in the market, people will trust you. And even if there are a million laws, if I don't like you, I never will rent you. If I like you, I will rent you. So it's about trust.
Absolutely, very much so.
This is why we can talk about no worries. Everyone could be, I cannot come to Spain. Yeah, maybe yes, you can if you have this kind of.
No, and the most important is stay positive, although it is difficult, and it can be difficult. I mean, I had clients who found their perfect property in a week. It then things just worked out perfect, well, everything worked out, and there are others who were looking for months or two. So you never know. You just need to stay positive and open and flexible, also open to different compromises that you might potentially reach with the property owner. So that's important.
Exacto. Otro de los consejos que los dos estábamos de acuerdo, yo como española comentaba que, bueno, confiar, ¿no? El español tiene que confiar en ti, entonces tienes que ir preparado, ser lo más transparente posible, contar tu vida, ser abierto para que la otra persona confíe en ti. Puede haber miles de leyes en el mundo, pero esto es algo de confianza. Es tu casa, vas a alquilarla a otra persona, tiene que haber esta confianza. Entonces, os aconsejamos, ella también estaba de acuerdo, de la confianza, ¿no? De hacerte amigo del propietario, intentar ganarte al propietario con explicando, ser transparente, enseñando todos tus bancos, todo lo que tienes para que él vea, bueno, que tienes dinero y que por tanto puede confiar en ti. Es a base de confianza. Y es verdad, el extranjero a veces tiene menos, el español confía menos, simplemente porque eres extranjero. España todavía no está muy abierta a la inmigración, no están habituados a tener miles de inmigrantes viviendo en el mismo sitio con un nivel adquisitivo medio, entonces todavía estamos unos años por detrás de otras ciudades. Entonces es difícil confiar, así que mi advice, ¿no? Mi consejo también es intenta también tener amigos españoles y si vas a ver la casa con un amigo español, esta persona propietaria va, oh, tiene amigos, la gente confía en él. Van a pensar que, bueno, que puede ser una persona de confianza. You live in Málaga. Do you think that area? Where is the area? Do you have some experience in Spain? Where is the best areas to live?
Oh, Malaga is beautiful. It very much depends what you're looking for. It's for every person, it could be different area, whether you're coming for being in the middle of the city and party and busy life, then the center of Malaga is fantastic, or Malagueta or the Pacifico area, which is on the coast, so that's great. If you're looking for something a bit more quieter, then you need to look for residential areas outside of the city center, or even small towns outside of Malaga. If you come with family or if you come on your own, it's really there is no perfect area for everyone. I think it's very, very individual. But Malaga has lots of very nice areas. It has got very, very expensive as well, unfortunately, as we just talked about. But still, lots of people come here. And to be honest, so far I haven't met anyone who came to Malaga and didn't fall in love with Malaga. So.
Mm-hmm. And also, you don't know any person come and have to leave because they don't find a house, no? You
No,
always have them.
exactly. If you want it, you will get it. So it's all about your attitude and your mental attitude. Yeah. No, I don't know anyone who had to leave because they didn't find the house. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So don't be nervous, everyone.
Yeah.
The law is there, but
Yeah.
always we find solutions.
You need to be prepared to compromise. That's very, very important. You may have an idea of a perfect house in your mind, but you may not be able to find exactly this perfect house. So you need to be prepared to compromise.
Yeah.
But if you're ready to compromise, if you're ready to respect the local rules and how things work, you will find your home. Yeah.
Ok, no hay que confiar. Así que no está todo perdido, tranquilos, podéis conseguir vuestra casa. Ella os comentaba también que todavía no ha tenido ningún caso de una persona que ha tenido que irse porque no encontraba casa. Siempre encuentras casa. Quizá no es la imagen que tú tenías, el sitio donde tú pensabas, pero siempre hay casa. Así que tranquilizaos, estar preparados, tener la información, esta es muy importante tenerla para así poder afrontar bien. Y también otra de las cosas que comentaba ella es evitar el verano. El verano es el peor momento para conseguir una casa, vienen muchos turistas, los alquileres están para los turistas, así que es el peor momento para elegir. Así que evitar el verano y bueno, esos son los consejos que os daba ella. Well, I think you help us a lot to explain, understand the new law, how it works. So thank you very much for your time, Irina. And I hope
Thank
you
you.
can help more people. If anyone needs help, this is the best consulting you can have. So I think they are all the information about you so they can reach you if they need help. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you
Thank
for
you very
inviting
much.
me.
Chao, chao. Bye. Bueno, espero que te haya gustado. I hope you enjoyed, you understand very well this law, these advices that the expert gave to you. Espero que te haya gustado y que hayas podido entender bien todos los consejos que te ha comentado esta experta. Y bueno, espero que si tienes alguna duda, por favor, me lo pongas en los comentarios. Si quieres más información sobre esto, encantada de ayudarte. I will be happy to explain everything that you need. So please let me know. And also if you want to travel to Spain first, si quieres viajar primero a España, conocer cómo es, and entender cómo es. If you want that thing first to move, here I am. I'm doing these immersions to explain everyone how is Spain, how is the best things to do and the first important things to do. So please contact me because I'm doing these immersion trips to everyone. Okay? So si quieres conocer primero España, saber muy bien dónde vas a querer vivir o no, vente conmigo a España, te la muestro, hago inmersiones para poder contar contigo y explicarte todo. Así que no dudes, háblame, contáctame y aquí podemos trabajar juntas. Bueno, pues nos vemos en el próximo capítulo, así que te veo muy pronto. Chao, chao, bye.